Since ancient times, the Mediterranean basin, which touches the shores of 3 continents, has been recognized as a unique geographical region with a temperate and comfortable climate, suitable for a range of both plant and livestock agriculture. The region is renowned for its vineyards and wine culture. The olive tree and its quality oil are one of the region's distinctive trademarks. The land of Israel, which lies on the eastern shores of the Mediterranean Sea, has excelled in the growth of the 7 biblical species and is referred to in the Bible as the land flowing with milk and honey. The ancient agricultural culture of this region, which was by nature organic, knew how to harness nature to the needs and benefit of humankind. With the development of modern agriculture, farmers learned how to use artificial fertilizers and synthetic pesticides as an important means to grow their crops. And now, it is these very achievements of modern agriculture which are spoiling it. The increased and sometimes even uncontrolled use of fertilizers and pesticides change the biological balance in nature. The negative contribution of chemicals to environmental pollution and toxicity is becoming increasingly apparent. On the background of this adversity of conventional agriculture, bioorganic agriculture has developed in its modern form. This form of agriculture wisely adopted the use of modern technologies, which enable nourishment and protection of the plant in their natural form, while preserving and balancing nature and its resources. This is illustrated in a tour of a number of organic agriculture development centers in the Mediterranean basin. Italy has a splendid agricultural tradition and is the largest producer of organic agriculture in the entire Mediterranean basin. IAB is the Italian parent organization for organic agriculture, incorporating about 20 organizations with about 50,000 organic farmers and farms. The organization inspects the credibility of their produce. This is the largest organization in all the member countries of the Agro-Bio-Mediterraneo, ABM, which includes 110 organizations and several 100,000 farmers. Italian organic produce constitutes about 6% of all agricultural produce and is sold in exclusive organic shops, in open markets, and in the supermarket chains. The produce is very varied and includes all plant and livestock products. The branch of organic restaurants developed against this background. These restaurants are interwoven with rural organic tourism and the provincial towns. This restaurant belongs to the energetic and industrious chef Giovanni, who excels in preparing a selection of dishes from purely organic produce. The many diners here are testimony to their superior flavor and healthy qualities. The Tuscany region, with its magical scenery, preserves the agricultural legacy of the past and integrates it into the present sophisticated organic agriculture, which constitutes living proof of the combination of agriculture and environment. The largest farm in this region is the La Selva farm, which combines a range of livestock and plant crops with rural organic tourism. It also serves as an experimental and demonstration farm for the farmers in the region trained by Arcia, the local government agency. Most of its produce undergoes industrial organic processing on the farm itself and is exported all over Europe. The farm's shop sells fresh and processed organic produce. We also found pasta in the shop, made from organic flour. And why should we be surprised? This is Italy. The organic cowshed on the farm, together with the range of crops, creates a cycle of a closed economic ecological farm, in which all the waste that is created is used without polluting the environment. The farmer who produces organic crops on land that has been enriched with organic material is at the heart of this cycle. The fresh organic produce is used mainly to feed humankind, the consumer, and partly for organic industrial processing. This produce also serves the consumer. The forage crops are used to feed the livestock. Waste from the industrial factories is also used to feed the livestock. The waste and leftovers of the consumers are recycled to enrich the land. Livestock excrement is used as organic manure, which also enriches the soil. The crop residue returns to the soil as a source of organic fertilizer. Therefore, bioorganic agriculture creates a perfect agricultural ecological cycle. Organic Parmesan cheese is produced according to a tradition that has been shaped over about 700 years in the small family farms in the heart of the Apennine Mountains. The ingredients of the mixture are all made according to the regulations of organic agriculture. The cowshed is surrounded by organic forage fields, green and so pleasant to regard. The use of natural and homeopathic medicines is the best solution for maintaining the cow's health. The very early hours of the morning found us waiting for the last of the local cooperative cowshed farmers, who unloads his merchandise at the cooperative's dairy, which is designated entirely for organic production of Parmesan cheese. The cheese production in the dairy requires great expertise, and it is conducted without any chemical additives. The cheese excels in its quality taste, which is famous all around the world. It is low in fat and sodium and has a very long shelf life. In the heart of the fertile Umbria belt, there is a research and training station for breeding animals and a veterinarian of the University of Perugia. Here, farmers and students are trained in the fundamentals of organic agriculture. Credibility of the organic produce requires systematic inspection over the transparency of the crop and the quality of the food produced, as is conducted by the inspection companies that have been certified for this. Food samples of livestock or other organic produce are transferred from time to time to a laboratory to check for chemical residues. A unique farm enjoys the fresh air of the Apennine mountain peaks. A group of young friends decided to establish an organic farm in the framework of a commune, which expresses a unique lifestyle and outlook. Organic agriculture, which feeds and even provides for the commune members, is part of a broad outlook of living in harmony with nature and preserving the environment. The members grow vegetables and rear livestock. Rearing animals focuses on nurturing the local breeds. The agricultural produce is directed to a local organic shop, which serves the rural tourism. Literature on the subject can also be found here. All this is beside a hostel, which constitutes a basis for nature trips in the area. The enchanting scenery invites and encourages horse riding activities or hikes, and of course, picnics in the open country. In the Regional Learning Center in the Northern Apennines, the tradition of organic agriculture is demonstrated. in the form of a small windmill. Organic principles are spread to the region from this center. The wheat grains are separated from the chaff and are ground in windmills, as in olden days. The flour that is produced is used to bake organic bread. In Tushi's learning farm, school children are exposed to all aspects of organic agriculture. In the organic orchard, Tushi successfully grows a variety of fruit trees. Here we found solutions to plant protection problems, such as use of color traps for pests, or use of odorous pheromone to confuse pest mating. All these allow us to eat the delicious fruits straight off the tree without worrying about chemicals. In the region of Pisa, which is famous for its leaning tower, many pine trees grow wild, as in the large presidential farm that serves ecological and organic tourism. The pine fruit grows here profusely and produces the delicious and nutritious pine nuts, which are used as condiments and appetizers in many dishes. Production of the pine nuts after the harvest is conducted organically and constitutes a family tradition, which is passed down through the generations. The stables are at the heart of the farm, and the horses are used for riding and breeding. The stables are managed organically, and the farm crops serve as the food source. Cows graze freely in the farm's meadows. The cows are used to produce organic milk. In the organic meadows surrounding the farm, a herd of horses, designated for work and meat, grazes peacefully. Most of the world's olive produce originates in the Mediterranean basin countries. Olive orchards cover widespread areas in the Tuscany region. The olive fly, which is the main pest, is controlled with special traps. This glue trap contains an attracting substance and serves as mass trapping of the flies.
They also make a control of what is the effect of the Greek traps on
The eco-trap is used to monitor the olive fly by using pheromone, which attracts the fly, and glue, which traps it. In the family farm for organic tourism in the Florence region, we visited an olive press, which extracts olive oil with a cold press. The equipment is modern, but the extraction principle is from ancient times, and the rules of organic agriculture are maintained. And the taste? It is impossible to resist the taste of the oil poured onto a slice of bread. Out of this world. The vineyards surrounding the farm are used to produce a variety of organic wines, which are preserved for many years in the family wine cellars and are even sold in the local shop.
Peacock spot causes leaves to shed and damages the following year's yield. Proper pruning enables penetration of light and drying of the foliage and helps to contain the disease. Preventative spraying with copper material, which is approved in organic agriculture, enables efficient management of the disease. The olive bark beetle develops in new branches, and especially in trimmed branches that are left in the orchard. It is easy to prevent the development of the pest by pruning broken and dry branches and ensuring spraying of the trimmed branches. The jasmine moth mainly damages new growth in young orchards and fruit in a yielding orchard. This can be controlled by Bt. The olive mite damages foliage and fruit in young trees and can be controlled by sulfur. Other pests and diseases are treated as needed while consulting a professional instructor. Modern orchards are irrigated with drip systems. Drip irrigation is efficient and precise, saves water, and requires a relatively low volume. The drip system is easy to lay out. The system is flexible and it can be adapted to the position and size of the plants. In organic agriculture, it is important for drippers to be closely spaced to each other to ensure efficient wetting of the compost which is spread around the trees. Surplus drippers can easily be plugged by installing special bands. In order to ensure the correct dripper position, a tube can be installed on it. The system head controls the irrigation system. This regulates the water volume. The filter is installed at the system head and ensures clean water to prevent dripper clogging. Installation of a suspended dripper system enables treatment of the orchard while preventing damage to the irrigation system by mechanical cultivation. Olives can also be irrigated with micro sprinklers, which are also suspended. Installation of suspended micro sprinklers provides misting and cooling when it is hot and dry, which may prevent damage to fruit set. The olive trees are pruned every year at the end of the harvest to enable penetration of light to the tree. The pruned branch dries the moisture in the tree and reduces its susceptibility to disease and pests. Dry and broken branches are removed during growth. It is important to leave jags at the pruning points so that the branch will not dry up. The pruned branch encourages the new growth. This new growth ensures next year's yield, since the olive tree only carries its yield on the previous year's young growth. Mechanized and mobile equipment facilitates pruning, makes it more efficient, and enables significant savings in human resources. The sucker shoots that grow at the root neck must be removed to maintain the tree's shape and to prevent competition for carbohydrates. The trimmed branches are crushed in the orchard, as is conventional in organic agriculture, which aspires to return most of the organic material to the ground. Crushing is important to prevent establishment and development of pests and diseases and to accelerate the trimmed branches' decomposition process. The growing demand for quality olive oil has led to the rehabilitation of previously neglected ancient olive orchards. The olive tree, which has been granted eternal life, can be renewed by directed pruning and grafting, which will bring even a neglected grove to full production within a relatively short time. In Albania, a label with an identity number is attached to each tree, a sign of the olive tree's great importance in this country. Monitoring fulfillment of the organic standards constitutes the basis of the consumer's trust in the organic product. Inspection is conducted by an authorized inspection party, which is authorized by IFOAM, the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movements. The inspection in the orchard is conducted by leaf and soil samples. The samples from the orchard are tested in a laboratory for pesticides and fertilizers, which are forbidden for use in organic agriculture. In an experimental farm in Albania, as in many other Mediterranean experimental farms, field experiments and researches are conducted to improve the management of growing organic olives. Experiments are conducted with covering methods and optimum crops on soil fertility and prevention of disruption by weeds. Emphasis was placed on experiments in plant protection by applying methods of scouting and mass trapping of pests while minimizing the damage to natural enemies and avoiding chemicals which are forbidden in organic agriculture. The research results are distributed in Mediterranean countries by the AgroBio Mediterraneu, ABM IFOM Mediterranean Group. The organization transfers information between instructors and researchers and contributes greatly to improving the growing results in the region. The oil starts to accumulate in the fruit starts after pit hardening. When the fruit is green, it is unripe. There is a high level of polyphenols which contribute to the oil's bitterness and pungency. Late harvest, when the olives are completely black, results in a more delicate oil since there is a lower level of polyphenols. However, there is a risk of losing some of the fruit as a result of the abscission, damage to the oil quality, and increased oxidation as a result of damage by pests and disease. The most suitable stage for harvest is when the color changes. This stage is characterized by the highest volume of best quality oil. The amount of polyphenols is relatively small, and the oil takes on the desired aroma and flavor. The peak of olive growing is the harvest, when the family comes together for the experience. The traditional harvest is conducted by beating with sticks and has been practiced in the area since ancient times. This method damages the young branches, which should carry the fruit in the coming year. The fruit is also damaged and may oxidize and damage the oil quality. Although the hand picking requires more work, it preserves the young shoots and the fruit. Some growers shake the fruit onto plastic sheets, which are spread out on the ground. Storing the fruit in ventilated plastic crates prevents its heating and maintains the quality of the olive oil which is produced from it. The plastic crates are preferable to sacks, which are not sufficiently ventilated. Mechanical harvest methods have penetrated into the industry in recent years. In organic olive growing, the vibrating rake method, manufactured by the Italian Petrolini and operated by mobile pneumatic equipment, has been found to be most efficient. The method is easy to operate, its capacity is high, it does not damage the young growth and preserves the fruit. This method eliminates the need for spraying of hormones, which weaken the stalk and which are forbidden for use in organic agriculture. Pruning equipment can also be installed on the pneumatic operation system. Fruit that has fallen is collected separately. This fruit is not fit for human consumption and should be channeled to the soap industry. Until the previous century, olive presses, which used the same methods as those of our forefathers, could be found in the Mediterranean basin. The principle of crushing olives with grindstones and extracting oil by pressure and without heating has been preserved until today. Today, there are a number of methods in the region to extract the oil. In this olive press, olive crushing and grinding is conducted with grindstones, which are driven by an electric motor. The pulp is placed in baskets as in the ancient method. The pulp in the baskets is pressed with a hydraulic press at high pressure. In many olive presses, the olives pass through a leaf separator before crushing. This ensures quality oil without a bitter taste. In more modern olive presses, hammer crushers are used. The pulp is mixed in a special apparatus. The olives are fed automatically. The oil is squeezed out by a very powerful hydraulic press. The oil is separated from the water with a centrifugal separator. In this system, the oil is extracted under good sanitary conditions, which enables the production of excellent quality olive oil. In olive presses with a continuous system, the olives are raised on a conveyor belt, the leaves are separated in a combined system, and the olives are thoroughly washed. All the processes are automatic and are controlled from a central control point. This type of olive press is equipped with decanters, which replace the presses. Initial separation of oil and water is conducted in the decanter. The final separation of the oil and water is conducted with a vertical centrifuge. The oil that is produced here is of excellent quality, with a high sanitation level which is appropriate for organic oil. The residents of the Mediterranean basin know what first-rate olive oil is and know how to appreciate its taste. Olive oil is a basic component in most ethnic dishes in the Mediterranean basin. Perfect oil is extracted from organic olives. It is both healthy and pesticide-free. Pickled olives constitute about 20% of all olive production in the region. The olives are pickled without preservatives, according to organic agriculture regulations. Organic olive products have a respectable place on the shelves of organic shops, and their demand is growing from year to year. The Italian Bile Foundation holds an annual international convention in Andria, southern Italy. The convention is accompanied by cultural and culinary events, during which a quality organic oil competition is conducted. Organic oil producers from all over the world participate in the competition. An international board of judges chooses the best olive oils in the world according to fixed measures.